Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for dropping in. It's been a while, I know. You've probably figured out that I'm not going to be a prolific video maker. However, I will be featuring the band that has given me the kick in the pants that I needed to make this video. So a little bit more of that a little bit later. So stay tuned. Most of the records that I'll be featuring today will be mainly Australian artists. Seem to be going on a bit of a well, I don't know if I'm deliberately picking Australian bands or they're just presenting themselves to be bought at reasonable prices. So it could be a little bit of both. So if you're not a big fan of Australian music, maybe this isn't the video for you, but you stick around and maybe I can inspire you to look into some of these great records, a lot of them from the past. I've got obviously some that are fairly recent, especially the featured artist. So let's get cracking, let's get into it. So yeah, Mondo rocks Chemistry. Yeah, they're sort of fairly popular band in the 80s. They did really well. It was this record that made them a household name. Ross Wilson, the lead singer, you're probably better known with his former band Daddy Cool. They did really well in the 70s, and he seems to fit in really nicely with this new band. Seem to fit his sort of vocal range. They sort of do music from what's it, pop music with a sort of rock edge, and yeah, it's a lovely record. Anyone who was around in the 80s would be familiar with this. It had multiple hit singles, Chemistry, State of the Heart, Summer of '81, Cool World, which is one of my favorites. Yeah, marvelous, marvelous. That's got a copy here, still on the Avenue Records label. I think it's one of the earlier labels. I don't know if it gets redone on another label. So that was a cool little pickup. What else have I got? Managed to get Do Re Mi's Guns and Butter for $7, which I couldn't leave behind. Another great little outfit from the 80s. I'm not sure if it's a single that appears on any of their albums. I think it's just a single that they did after their Domestic Harmony album, probably their most successful album. After that they sort of tend to fade away, and Deborah Conway sort of goes solo. But a great track, wonderful track, one of my favorites. Yeah, post Man Overboard. Another album that I picked up recently on my travels at the Box Hill Record Fair, actually. INXS is The Swing. If ever you wanted to know how good INXS were or are, you would not be doing yourself a disservice if you started on this record. Marvelous record. Probably not a bad track on here. Didn't make as big a splash as its sort of successor records internationally, but again, it's another record that you always used to hear when you were back around in the 80s. Great tracks, lots of singles of this one too. Original Sin, I Send a Message, Dancing on the Jetty, Burn For You. Yeah. Yeah, it's really a pivotal album for them, because it's probably the album that they, you know, finally sort of nailed down that INXS sound. Yeah, and they've got I can't remember his name now. I always do that. What's his name? Just finished producing David Bowie's Let's Dance record, so he was at the helm with this one as well. You know, what's his Chic? Nile Rodgers. There we go. Yeah, another great record. Fantastic. Okay, now we're sort of moving into present times. I have the latest offering from Luke Steele and Daniel Johns. Well, eccentric Luke Steele and Daniel Johns, under the moniker of Dreams. Check it out. This is a coloured version in white. Yeah, an offering that's sort of yeah, somewhere between rock, electronic and experimental music. It doesn't set the world on fire for me, but look, great artists in their own right. You just have to buy it and try it out, wouldn't you? Daniel Johns, obviously, of Silverchair, Luke Steele of, more recently, Empire of the Sun, and my favourite incarnation, Sleepy Jackson. I think he's done his best work there on that first record. Now, the band that I'm featuring today, that I want to speak about a little bit, is a band called the Parcels. I'm going to show the album in a sec. Yeah, they're a fantastic band. I can't stop listening to this LP at the moment. They hail from Byron Bay, but at the moment they reside in Berlin. Yeah, good. Look, I'll show the album. This is their latest offering. This is their first LP, actually, that you can pick up, hopefully still, on Amazon.com.au. So if you like this band, or you like the sound, jump on, get it straight away before it runs out. I don't think there's a lot of copies left. It's fantastic. Like I said, they hail from Byron Bay. They describe their sound as computer orientated. Their first EP, Hideout, was written entirely on computer, and their time in Berlin has shifted their focus, thankfully, to crafting their tunes through live instrumentation. So you'll see that. I'm going to put up a video in a sec. You'll see that they still have that sort of computer sound in there, but they're sort of heading a certain direction, which we'll talk about in a second. So the story is that a string of sort of promising singles in 2016 sort of got a few people turning their heads and paying attention. But the story is they were doing a gig at a Parisian club in 2016, and guess who was in the audience? It was Daft Punk, and they were there. They liked what they heard. So what ended up happening is there was a collaboration with the band in 2017 to produce this hit, which I'm about to put up. Well, I don't know if everyone's heard it, but I'll say single. It's called Overnight, and it was this track that I think has made him hot. So check it out.
The minute I was thinking to hold you back, The moment I was wishing it's overnight. The minute I was thinking to hold.
So that was overnight, and you can hear the similarities between that song and Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. It could quite easily sit in that album. You already have Pharrell Williams and other guest artists on that record, so I think it could quite easily sit in there. Why not? So this is their latest offering. I mean, that was 2017. Now this album is out. Is it 2018, 2019? And they continue that style, that sort of 70s disco tendencies sort of exist in here, but it has a really fresh sound to it. What do you think? I love it. There's fantastic tracks on here. Just on a side note though, if you do manage to pick up the CD instead, you will not be doing yourself a disservice. There's 3 extra tracks on here, with including the very marvelous new single Tape. So yeah, don't be upset if you miss out and can't get the vinyl. You get 3 extra tracks on here, great songs. So check it out. I might just put on one more track from this latest LP just to sort of give you an idea of how that sound has progressed. And which track shall I play you? Shall I play you Light Me Up? Or is it Light Up? Or Tape? Anyway, check it out and see what you think. That was the shimmering sounds of the Parcels. What do you think? It's on the Kitsune record label. I think it's pronounced that way. French record label. Yeah, look, it's not all disco-y. Towards the center of the record, it slows down, and there's a few ballads on here and slower tracks. So yeah, let us know what you think. Put some comments down. But yeah, fun, fantastic. Well, thanks for dropping in, and I hope that our next meeting isn't going to be as long as this one has been. I've got a few ideas up my sleeve, so it's just a matter of execution. So yeah, guys, looking forward to hearing from you, and thanks again for dropping in. Catch you all.